Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Allegiant's flight with service to Sanford. If you're just joining us and you're looking for your seats, take a look under the overhead bin space. You're going to see the numbers illuminated.
When you're planning a trip, the main questions you have to ask yourself are, where do you want to go? How do you want to get there? What do you want to do when you get there? How do you plan on getting around when you are there? And where do you want to stay when you get there? For this trip, we went to Universal Studios Orlando, Florida, and we chose to fly on Allegiant Airlines because they offered very cheap flights, and if you choose the correct departure dates, you can really get a cheap flight. Now, one quick tip, the flight cost does not include the taxes, fees, and bags. So when you book, you just know that you're going to have those in addition. But even with the taxes, fees, and bags added onto our flight, the cost was only $77 per person round trip. The bags cost $30 each way for a total of $60, and the flight cost was $137 round trip for each person, which is really cheap. We did fly out of Grand Rapids. It was very quick and very easy, and it's very similar to flying out of Kalamazoo. Going through TSA and going through the check-in line, fast and easy. It really was not that difficult, and it's a 45-minute drive to and from Grand Rapids, but it's way better than driving to Detroit or Chicago. And I looked at several options when we're traveling, and this was the cheapest option, and it was the best option that we had at the time. As far as parking goes, I looked at a lot of different options. We like to do the Park Sleep Fly option. Since this was Labor Day weekend, the hotel prices were a lot higher. So we decided we would go ahead and just drive up and park at the airport. And they do have some other options where you can park at hotels. You can just book it separately, but then you're going to have to get a shuttle bus to and from the airport. And of course, the shuttle bus is free, but you're going to end up tipping. So I decided if I'm going to go ahead and do that, I might as well park in the economy lot when I'm at Grand Rapids. And the economy lot cost, I believe it was $9 per day. We were there for 6 days, and it cost us $54 to park. And they do offer a free shuttle bus back and forth to the terminal. And one thing you want to always make sure you tip the driver. I typically do $1 per bag, just as a courtesy. Basically, overall, the flight was quite good. It was very easy, in and out, non-stop flight from Grand Rapids to Sanford. 2 hours and 15, 2 hours and 30 minutes. It was piece cake easy. You do not get any in-service food or drinks. There's no free options. You can actually purchase with a credit card while you're flying. It's going to cost you about the same as if you were to buy it in the airport terminal. The food and drinks in the airport terminal are pretty expensive. So be prepared for that. A bottle of water is going to be around $3.50 for a small bottle of water, about $4.50 for a large bottle of water. So it is very expensive to eat or drink while you're at the airport. So just be prepared for that. When we flew into Sanford, Orlando, it's a little different than flying into Orlando International. When you fly into Sanford, you don't have a shuttle to your hotel, so you're going to have to get a rental car. We looked at the options of taking an Uber. We looked at several options for transportation, and the best option was to actually get a rental car while we were staying in Orlando. So if you're flying to Sanford, just know that you're going to have to get some additional travel plans. When it comes to a rental car, I went with Alamo for this trip. Again, the starting price does not include the taxes and fees, and they will try to upgrade you to a larger vehicle. It's a great deal. We'll give you this for a much cheaper price. Sounds like a good deal, but it can end up costing you a lot more than you planned in the end. So I'd be careful if they try to give you an upgrade. If they give you a free upgrade, that's one thing, but if they actually say, for an additional blah blah amount, we'll give you an upgrade to this bigger vehicle. They tried to do that with us because we had 4 of us, and they said, well, your bags will not fit into the mid-size car. And unfortunately, they did fit into the mid-size car. We did have one bag right in the back seat with the kids, but we were fine. It was just to and from the hotel, so it was a little tight going to the hotel, but the rest of the time it was very easy to travel. We chose the Nissan Sentra, which is the same kind of cars that Sally and Hayden drive, so we were very familiar with it. We knew they had good gas mileage, and it was a very easy drive from Sanford down to Universal Studios, and we stayed at the Holiday Inn. We chose the Holiday Inn and Suites across from Universal Orlando. The room type was easy to choose. You can get a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom suite for less than you can 2 separate rooms. This was an awesome room for us. It comes with a kitchen, a living room, 2 bedrooms, 4 beds. It's a wonderful room. If you do travel, let us set you up with the Holiday Inn Suites. We don't get paid extra, or we don't get paid anything. I don't work for Holiday Inn, but I'll tell you what, this is an amazing hotel, and it is a very inexpensive option. When it comes to choosing a hotel at Universal Studios, that depends on how much you want to pay. You can stay on site, and it's quite a bit more expensive to stay on site, but they do offer several advantages when you stay on site. So you have to consider the location and transportation to the park. Most hotels will offer a free or a pay shuttle. You have to travel on their schedule, and sometimes you end up driving and seeing Orlando while you're on the shuttle. So we choose to walk.
Get to see some cool plants. Look at these little trees.
I would highly recommend getting in shape for this trip because there is a lot of walking at Universal Studios. We typically, on a short day, I think we did 6 miles was our shortest day, and we kept track with our Fitbits and our walking programs. The shortest day was 6 miles, and the longest day I do believe we did, I think, 12 miles. So there is a lot of walking, but you're going to eat a lot too, so be prepared. The walk is about 1 mile from the hotel to the valet entrance, and the reason why we like to do that is the valet entrance, there's typically nobody there. You just walk up, they check your bags, you walk through the metal detector, fast and easy. If you go through the main entrance, you're going to have long lines, you're going to have a lot of people, big crowds. It takes a lot longer, gets a little frustrating. So we always choose to go through the valet entrance. It's really quick and easy when you're going into the park. When we're walking back from the park after a long day of walking, you just don't want to do a whole lot of extra walking. So what we do is we take the moving walkways in the parking structure, and that will actually walk you right back on the same route as we do on the outside of the parking structure, except you don't have to walk. You can kind of ride on the moving walkways, or you can walk on the moving walkways, and it's a whole lot easier than walking outside. Plus, if you do run into some rain, it's nice to be undercover. We did park one day. I paid $26 for parking. You can, and that's for the economy parking. You can pay $40 to park closer, but we did the economy. $26 was more than enough, and it was kind of sad because we ended up parking probably within 100 yards of our hotel. So I paid $26 to save 100 yards of walking. We did not park any time the rest of the week. We did that one time, and that was enough. I could not believe I did not hardly save any steps, and there was no advantage to parking because you still have to walk almost the same distance as if you were to walk from the Holiday Inn. So I highly recommend staying at the Holiday Inn. The other advantages to staying at the Holiday Inn is it is a partner hotel. So you get some of the perks that are offered on on-site hotels. You do get the early admission. You can also purchase your meal plans and tickets at the Holiday Inn. The only drawback is crossing Kirkman Avenue, which is a very busy road, and sometimes that can take between 5 and 10 minutes to get across. They did build a new structure. If you don't mind walking a little bit extra, there is a overpass that you can walk, but or you can wait 5 to 10 minutes. It's just a very busy road. In upcoming videos, I'll talk about the purchasing of tickets and the different plan options, the dining plans in more detail, the fast pass, the single rider, the virtual lines. Also do a very detailed talk about foods and drinks and snacks and stores and rides. We spent 6 days at the Universal Islands Adventure and City Walk. So we got a lot of detail that we're going to share with you. We had a lot of fun, and we really want to share the fun with you. Subscribe to the channel so you can know when the next informational video is posted, and book with GNSA Travel for insider tips on cruise travel, Universal Studios vacations. Until next time, this is Gary Butcher with Gary and Sally's Adventure Travel.